Imagine, for a second, a tiny plastic-encased sensor sitting quietly in the dirt of a massive tomato farm. It just sleeps there for 23 hours and 59 minutes a day. Then it wakes up for exactly 1 millisecond, whispers the soil's moisture level to a cloud server, and goes right back to sleep. It's incredibly efficient, right? Well, the scale of this invisible data layer is about to absolutely explode. By the year 2025, we're looking at an estimated 55.7 billion of these connected devices scattered all across the globe. And together, they're going to be generating a staggering 80 zettabytes of data. But hold on, picture this scenario. A hacker sitting halfway across the globe manages to discover that specific farm sensor's frequency. Now, they don't even try to steal the farm's data. They don't need to. Instead, they just force that little sensor to wake up over and over again, literally thousands of times a minute. Within 2 days, the sensor's battery is completely dead. The entire irrigation system is flying blind, and poof, millions of dollars are lost. It's a terrifying new reality. So what happens when the invisible data layers that run our physical world become the front lines of an invisible warfare?
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, powered by INCEPICX Technologies, we are pulling together some truly fascinating research to explore the convergence of AI and the Internet of Things, what we call AIoT. We're going to unpack how this invisible, hyper-connected layer is completely transforming everything, from massive urban infrastructure all the way down to the creative tools we use to tell stories. Here is our roadmap for today. We're covering the AIoT paradigm shift, powering cities and farms, the invisible cyber war, the engineering talent crisis, the cinematic AI shift, and finally, the ABCD engagement framework.
Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, the AIoT paradigm shift, moving from reactive to proactive.
So, to really grasp where we're going, we first have to understand this massive paradigm shift. Historically, the Internet of Things was entirely reactive. Think of an old-school thermostat. It's just blindly following a manual timer, right? But now, by injecting AI directly into silicon boards, like an ESP32 chip, these systems are making the leap from reactive to proactive. They're actually using artificial intuition. They process data locally right there on the device through edge computing, rather than constantly waiting for a cloud server to tell them what to do.
Moving right along to Section 2, powering cities and farms, looking at the macro view. When we take this proactive edge computing and apply it to the real world, it completely redesigns our biggest physical infrastructures. Out on the farm, you've got autonomous tractors equipped with high-res machine vision that can detect weeds with over 96% accuracy in mere milliseconds. That lets a robotic arm spray a tiny microdose of herbicide directly onto a specific leaf instead of just crop dusting the whole field. And in our cities, we've got ultrasonic wastebands bouncing sound waves off garbage to measure the exact depth of the trash. They only alert municipal workers when they're actually full, which saves a massive amount of diesel fuel. Meanwhile, smart grids are literally pulling electricity from dormant office buildings to prevent citywide rolling blackouts. And here is why this really matters. As our global population booms toward 10 billion people, we literally have to produce more food, but with significantly less water and land. By using smart irrigation with soil capacitance sensors, the kind that measure exact moisture right down at the root level, we can actually reduce agricultural water usage by up to 50%. Let that sink in. This isn't just some luxury tech upgrade, it is an absolute critical necessity for our survival. Which brings us to a much darker topic, Section 3, the invisible cyber war, vulnerabilities at the edge. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing how this level of hyperconnectivity brings a massive attack surface. Hackers are exploiting these edge vulnerabilities in some truly terrifying ways. You've got Sybil attacks, where they forge digital IDs to just drain network bandwidth with ghost devices. You have jamming, where they blast radio frequencies to drown out sensor signals. And then, you have the absolute most destructive one, sleep deprivation. Let's break down that sleep deprivation attack we touched on at the start. It's wild. A hacker doesn't even need to breach a heavily guarded corporate server or steal financial data. They just discover a sensor's frequency, ping it repeatedly so it can never go back to sleep, and completely drain its physical AA battery in just 2 days. They are actively destroying physical hardware using nothing but software requests. No way, right? But it's happening. This can completely brick sensors that control industrial pipelines or city water supplies, causing catastrophic physical damage. So, how do we fix it? Section 4, the engineering talent crisis,
building the invisible. Defending against these kinds of attacks requires advanced AI guard dogs and blockchain security. But the million-dollar question is, who is actually going to build these proactive systems? Right now, there's a severe lack of what the industry calls unicorn firmware engineers. These are incredibly rare folks who understand both the high-level architecture of AI and the super niche skills, like how to optimize a microcontroller's memory allocation. And this is exactly where INCEPICX Technologies steps in. They're positioning themselves as the absolute leader in training these elite engineers, the exact talent needed to build and secure these critical systems.
And, this perfectly illustrates the irony of our current tech landscape. Because your standard HR departments completely lack the deep technical background to evaluate if someone can actually program these complex chips, companies are having to rely heavily on AI hiring tools just to assess these niche skills. As the research notes, it's a strange loop, isn't it? We are literally using AI to recruit the humans who will program the AI. Just think about that for a second. All right, shifting gears a bit. Section 5, the cinematic AI shift, bending reality. Get this, the exact same machine vision that allows a tractor to recognize a tiny weed in the dirt is now totally transforming creative fields. Welcome to cinematic AI. Tools like Hickfield.ai's Cinema Studio 2.0 are allowing creators to lock in a character model and instantly generate seamless, photorealistic transitions and those crazy Earth zoom-outs, all using mathematical pattern recognition. It's a real game changer. It's also completely automating aesthetic choices that used to take forever. AI color palette tools can now analyze just a single reference frame that perfectly captures, say, a vintage surf motel vibe or a sunset cinema contrast. The AI maps the mathematical values of those specific colors and then automatically matches that aesthetic across an entire timeline of video clips. Clips shot on different cameras with totally different lighting. What used to take a master technician weeks of carefully nudging color wheels now takes seconds. The AI handles all the busy work, freeing up the human to focus purely on the creative vision. So with AI doing all this execution, how do you stand out? Section 6, the ABCD engagement framework for capturing attention. In a world where AI can automate the heavy lifting, how do creators and businesses actually retain human attention? Well, we turn to a heavily data-backed playbook from Google on creative effectiveness, the ABCD framework. The first two pillars are attract and brand. To attract, you have got to hook your viewers in the first 5 seconds. You do this with tight framing and opening with multiple, fast-paced shots to instantly grab the brain's attention. Then, to brand, you integrate your identity early. Introduce product logos, unique brand colors, and very specifically have on-screen actors deliver audio mentions of your brand. That correlates highly with memory retention. The final two pillars are connect and direct. You connect by making people the core of the story. You pull emotional levers like humor, action, or intrigue right alongside your functional messages. And finally, you direct the viewer. Don't just leave them hanging. You have to prompt specific action using text cards or voiceovers. Inspire some urgency with limited timeframes, directly compelling them to search, sign up, or buy right then and there. So look how far we've come today. We've journeyed all the way from physical soil sensors out in the dirt to tools that literally hallucinate cinematic worlds. The digital twin of our reality isn't just coming, it's here. And we desperately need the talent to build it. INCEPICX Technologies is at the absolute forefront of this revolution. So remember our motto, innovate, learn, lead. Don't get left behind in the reactive era. At what point does the digital twin of our reality become more influential than the physical world itself? Think about it. Click the button on screen to enroll today and start my journey into AIoT. Thanks so much for joining this explainer. See you next time.